saw the Caribbean countries.
Yeah.
I mean, even the NFL, I think with Mexico showing how big the market is growing internationally for American sports, because we know from the rest of the world, when you step out of America, it's pretty much soccer.
Yeah.
You know, when you get those soccer
Right.
tournaments going on, that takes over every television. But it's interesting in trying to see where this market is going now with American-based sports.
It is going. And I know I hadn't mentioned Africa, but Africa is coming too. You have your athletes over there. The key is to teach them how to play the game now. Yeah. You got me? This is why the NBA is going to do well in Africa. And I look for football to do good at some point in Africa.
Yeah.
You know, athletes all over the place. And, you know, Africa is the biggest continent. They don't get the credit. I don't know why, but they're the biggest continent. They're bigger than China.
Yeah.
You know, but they're never going to get the prop because of the people who give the prop got issue with the color of their skin. You got me? So that's why they don't ever get the prop. But I've done the research. I've looked at it. The data says Africa, and let's forget about just people. They have all of the natural resources. It's over there. And Africa is coming. One thing I must say, and I tell my son whenever I go into South America, Africa television is big down there. They show a lot of things going on in Africa, in South America on TV. And I get to watch it. I say, man, I get to learn a lot because I say, I never knew all of this was taking place. I mean, a lot of things are happening. And people who gets in on the ground level going to do very well in Africa. This is the time to get in, I'm telling you.
Let me ask you, because I don't think I ever had this conversation with you, especially from your days of being a coach. You saw a lot more athletes, and I'm going to say back in the day, but you saw a lot more athletes being 2-3 sport athletes. Now these days, you kind of have coaches, hey, you need to either just play this or you need to just play that. You were a 2-sport athlete. You did baseball and basketball. What's your thoughts now when you look at the world these days where, you know, athletes are kind of being driven into one way instead of being, you know, at one time you did baseball, football, basketball, and you tried to fit it all in, maybe track and field in the midst of it, you know. Your thoughts on that, and then when it came to you recruiting and seeing that a guy had the potential to be good maybe in basketball or football, but at the same time good at baseball?
Well, for me, it didn't matter. I would recruit him if he was a good athlete. It didn't matter if he was good in other sports. You know what I'm saying? But nowadays, coaches only want. They don't want to share. And it's selfishness. A kid who can play 2 sports, why not let him play 2 sports? You know, share it with them. It was easy back then. Coaches had relationship with each other. And they would talk about the kid. And
because I heard Jameis Winston, who played at Florida State and won the Heisman, he said, you know, Florida, he looked at wanting to go there, but he said the deal breaker was the football coach told him there was no absolute way that they would allow him to play baseball. So Florida State said, hey, you can play baseball and football, and that's why he ultimately went there. And then many other guys did the same thing as well.
You know, Patrick Mahomes went to Texas Tech as a pitcher. The guy wouldn't let him pitch.
Yeah.
I mean, just...
Deion Sanders.
Well, he did play baseball and football. But, you know, it's just so many horror stories that you hear with coaches, how they doing. Listen, I understand sports is about big money and it's about security. People want security. The only security is guaranteed is the one that God promised. The other one, man promise, is not guaranteed. You know, so, you know, you recruit kids, you let them play, and see what happens.
When you were at Southern, did you ever have guys that played 2 sports or wanted to play 2 sports during your time here as a coach?
No, I did. Rodney Milburn did. You know, I was telling a story to Chris Crenshaw, the baseball coach. When I played, Harold Carmichael, Isaiah Robertson, 2 great football players, Harold Carmichael, Hall of Fame football player in the NFL. They both came out for first base along with me. I was 160 pounds, maybe 160 pounds, skinny kid, and these are two big men. And the coach kept me over them. And to this day, I can't figure out how could he keep me over those two guys. Carmichael was drafted by Pittsburgh out of high school, out of Jacksonville, Florida. At least that's the way the story goes. And Isaiah Robertson was really a truly good All-American athlete, All-Pro football player. So we're talking about really good athletes, but they kept me. He kept me over those guys.
That's an interesting story. I didn't know y'all all competed for first base here.
Yeah, we competed for that. And I mean, I just can't figure it out.
Yeah.
But you know what? The coach made the right decision.
He did make the right decision.
I mean, even though I was undersized, skinny, inexperienced, wasn't that good of a player, I got better. And then the question was asking to me, Danny Goodwin. I played with Danny Goodwin for 2 years. And Danny Goodwin is the only player who's been drafted twice, number one. And so the question is, was he a good player? I said, he must have been. Somebody thought he was. Then the question came up, well, you won the batting title in 73. I certainly did. So you must have been better than Danny. That doesn't mean I was better than him. I just happened to win the batting title. And then I finished second in my junior year. So I had 2 really good years with the batting title, with the batting average. And just so happened my senior year I won it. And but I played with really good players like the Danny Goodwin, like the Henry Baker, like the B.B. Richardson, my Pete Fisher, my goodness, James Victorian, my homeboy, Arthur Buck Jones, Bobby Johnson. And I keep naming. All these were really good players that I had the chance to play with, and they helped me to be a better player. The one thing I must say, people like Leroy Boyd and those guys who were older than me, they saw something in me, obviously. I remember Leroy taking me one summer and said, hey, come on, man, I'm going to work with you on your hitting. I think you're going to be okay. That really worked out pretty good for me. But you know the one guy who made a major impact on my baseball career?
Who was that?
Doug Williams' brother, Robert Williams.
Really?
He used to come pick me up on Sundays and take me so we could go play. Robert was drafted by Cleveland Indians out of Grambling, but he still came and got me. He would drive from Cheneyville to New Road to get me.
Yeah.
Isn't that beautiful? That ain't gonna happen nowadays. But he did it. He had I don't know what it's called now. But he would drive and come and get me. And he taught me a lot of things about hitting and what to look for from pitchers because he was a pitcher, you know. So that's a good story.
Do you think, I'm not going to say photographic memory, but it seems like you pick up things really quick and retain it.
I had to. Remember, I had the unfortunate situation of not being able to go to school and learn like most kids learn, you got me? So I had to, whatever I saw for the first time or heard for the first time, I had to make sure I retained most of that stuff, you got me? Now, I forced myself to do that because I realized I may not go back and be able to read it and see it again, you got me? So I have to remember all of that. And, let's give my daddy some credit. He had a pretty good mind. He could see things and that was unforeseeable. And I think I got some of that from him, but I did retain things pretty good. I did,
What did you major in, Coach? I don't think I ever asked you that.
Physical education and a master's in guiding and counseling.
Really? So if I need some, you got some issues, I can call and talk to you about some issues. You can guide me and counsel me through it.
I would guide and counsel you.
I appreciate that. Well, let me guide and counsel us into a break because we got to pay some bills. So you guys stay tuned. We'll be right back. More Chop It Up with Coach Roger Cador and Perry White.
Smart Baton Rouge business travelers travel out of Baton Rouge because BTR is so close and convenient. They're always one step ahead, rather than dead on their feet. So, isn't it about time you flew BTR? Baton Rouge Metro Airport. Some Baton Rouge business travelers travel out of Baton Rouge. Some don't. The ones that do know BTR is all about being closer, more convenient, with non-stops and short hops to anywhere their business takes them. They also know not flying BTR means more traffic, longer lines, and wasted time. So if it's about going from driveway to runway with a lot less highway, isn't it about time you flew BTR? Baton Rouge Metro Airport. It's about time.
Getting a letter from the IRS that you owe back taxes can be scary, but it doesn't have to be. Call Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040 today. We'll help stop garnishments, levies, and seizures immediately. With over 35 years of dealing directly with the IRS, our team of local professionals will help you pay the least amount possible. So if you owe back taxes to the IRS, you need help. Call the tax professionals at Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040. Your go-to tax relief.
Have a passion? We've got the place. Gear up for where the rubber meets the mud, or stir up memories of a lifetime. Reach new heights. Gravitate towards something out of this world. Even travel back in time. You might like a little drama in your life, or get in touch with your inner nature lover. Release some pent-up energy while you're at it. There's plenty to do beyond the swing sets. BRAC, we're more than a playground.
With over 60 years of combined experience, Kathy Sherburne and Anna Barnett bring a wealth of knowledge and excitement to the framing industry. Keeping strong to the Louisiana culture, Acadian Frame and Art has numerous local artists and sports team memorabilia for their customers to choose from. Whether you're creating a gallery-like setting in your office or simply looking for some fun art for your kids' playroom, Acadian Frame and Art is your one-stop picture framing spot. Call 225-927-6129 or go to www.acadianframe.com.
Get the memoir from the legendary baseball coach from Southern University, Roger Cador, Against All Odds. Roger refused to let his past dictate his future by rising to legendary college baseball status. An inspiring story of tenacity, faith, and hope. Against All Odds chronicles Coach Cador's determination to reach higher, to want more, and to dig deeper to find the courage to chase his dreams. Against All Odds. Get yours today by Cador and Cador Publishing. You are now watching Chopping It Up with Roger Cador and Perry White.
All right, we're back with more Chopping It Up with Coach Roger Cador and Perry White. I'm Perry White. He's Coach Roger Cador, the Hall of Famer. And Coach, we were just talking off camera about football, and you was asking about the SWAC. And right now, looking at the SWAC East and the SWAC West. Starting over in the SWAC East, it's Jackson State right now. Pretty much everybody else, they are undefeated in conference play 2 weeks ago, beating FAMU at home. I actually went to Jackson this weekend. It was their homecoming. They played UAPB, and they beat them 41-3. And I can say maybe for the first time in life, I had a good time in Jackson, Mississippi.
That's good to hear.
I said with one Southern fan they can handle is when it's too many Southern fans.
That's right.
They can't handle. But for one Southern fan, they treated me all right. But other than that, then you got Alabama State and Florida A&M right there behind Jackson, both with one loss. And this is where things start to get jumbled up when you get into November, because Jackson has already beaten FAMU, right? So they have the head-to-head there. FAMU has already beaten Alabama State, so they have the head-to-head there. Bama State has not played Jackson State yet. So you could potentially, if Bama State beats Jackson State, have 3 teams all sitting there with one loss in that division, which can then start to cause some headache, because If Bama State beats Jackson, that would give Bama State the head-to-head over Jackson. Jackson would have the head-to-head over FAMU, and FAMU would have the head-to-head over Bama State. That's a lot going on there, isn't it?
It's good, though. It's good when you're giving people something to talk about. And, you know, now the teams and the players have something to play for.
Yeah, November to remember, as Coach Odoms used to call it, because it's getting crucial for Jackson State with Valley this weekend. Then they have to go on the road to Bama State and to Alcorn up on the reservation. So it's not quite all the way etched in stone for them yet. And then for Southern, you look over in the West, a surprise. Southern leading the way at 4-1 in conference play.
And who is next?
You have Alcorn after they're 3-2 in conference play.
Okay, so Southern win this weekend, and then they have Bethune-Cookman this weekend, then Pine Bluff, then the Bayou Classic. They would have to win 2, and then Alcorn drop 1, and Southern can clinch it before the Bayou Classic. My thing is, you don't want to clinch before the Bayou Classic. You want to.
You trying to stress us out?
No. You want to clinch yesterday if you could have.
Yeah, okay.
But I think for the players, you keep them focused.
Yeah.
And with a young coach, anything that can help him keep his players focused, you got me? Because this is his first rodeo. Yeah. He's got to figure out some things. What do I do in preparing my team? How do I get them to relax? What issues should I talk about? There's so much on the plate, on the table, that has to be done in order for Coach Graves can get everybody ready. Not only his players, he's got to prepare his staff, you got me? To the way he wants things done, you know? So it's a lot goes on into this equation.
Yeah, and then I'm talking about Bethune-Cookman, who's the opponent this week. They beat Grambling in Daytona, and, you know, Grambling right now is at the bottom of the SWAC West, and you look at Coach Mickey Joseph, who's Louisiana people know him well as he formerly coached at LSU, and then you look at the two coaches that are the coordinators there. That is Jason Rollins and Eric Dooley, two coaches that were here at Southern. So it's interesting when you look at those guys.
Maybe it was good that we got him out of here.
I think it is good that we got him out of there. Now they're starting to struggle. I mean, you know, we talked about it last week with Mickey Joseph, Coach Joseph, criticizing SWAC refs. And now this week, fans are really criticizing him in terms of his staff, the lack of offensive production. Right. You would think with them, they had the SWAC preseason offensive player of the year, and their quarterback, Miles Crowley, who is now not playing anymore. They have DJ Bailey, who is taking over at the quarterback position. But looking at Grambling, considering, and then Southern, it's like it started two different ways. Grambling started out the season, and it looked like they were going to be the hot team, and Southern started off, and it looked like they weren't going to be the hot team. But one thing about Southern, we've seen the adjustments from the coaching staff to make those adjustments, and those adjustments have created wins. And for Grambling on the other side, it has gone the complete opposite way as they've been continuously adding up losses on the schedule.
Yeah, you know, the more I hear about Mickey Joseph, the worse. That's just why you got to be careful when you go get those guys from these so-called big schools, and then they come here and try to degrade everything we do. Listen, we are doing what we can with what we have to work with. The conference can hire certain kind of officials because that's all they can pay for it, right? It's like you can go get filet mignon, pork chop. Which one can you afford? They're both edible, right?
Yeah, you are.
You know, so, you know, I do get filet mignon every now and then, but my point is, those officials are they're not trying to cheat this guy out of anything.
Yeah.
They're getting graded. They're going to lose their job if they're doing, you understand? If there is any reason to believe you're favoring one team over the other, those guys get graded every game. So I think he's wrong in his manner and what he's doing. I think, you know, Grambling needs to be brought to the table. The last three coaches they've had been flop.
Yeah.
they've done a poor job. Keep trying to go get people from big schools. It's better to get people that come out of a situation that is comparable to what they're coming into. I'm telling you, if you feed a kid filet mignon, he's not going to eat pork chop. I don't think so.
Well, that's like my son. Growing up, it was different for me. Now he knows crab legs and shrimp. That's
Right. You like that, yeah.
You know, I wasn't yelling no crab legs and shrimp. As a kid, I was cool with a hot pocket, a sandwich, chips. Yeah, all he wanted is to talk about some damn crab legs and shrimp, Coach. It just shows once you elevate it, you get a certain taste. I guess it's just hard to go back, huh?
It's hard to go back, but, this man, though, he's supposed to be a leader of young people.
Yeah.
When you hire a coach, you hire him from board and coaching X's and O's, okay?
That's it.
You hire him also to be leader, find example for young people. Mickey Joseph have not done that. And I'm blaming Gremlin for not stepping up and putting their foot down, okay? Why make the commissioner have to do it? The commissioner didn't hire. Now, he's going to fine him, but Gremlin has got to do something about that.
Yeah.
Gremlin has had a high standard because of what Eddie Robertson said. You got me? Why let someone like that tear it down?
Well, let me have this conversation with you because it has been brought out that there's a possibility with Jackson State, who is leading the way over in the SWAC East, that allegations of them potentially maybe having cheated this past weekend against UAPB because it was said that they had access to a former player's huddle to basically get an opportunity to get an inside look at all the plays. Is that interesting?
We'll have to cheat to be UAPB. Come on. This is what it goes to. This is social media at its best. This is social media at its best.
Say no need to have to cheat to
Why
be
would they have to cheat to beat you? That doesn't make any sense. It's just like saying they need to cheat to beat Mississippi Valley.
Yeah.
That don't make any sense.
But
anybody in their right thinking mind will know something stinks with that.
yeah.
Okay? No, they didn't need to get access to someone's huddle to beat UAPB. No.
But I talked to a credible source from UAPB within athletics. Their source has said they have gone to the commission, they have gone to the SWAC to report this because on their end, they're reporting this to the SWAC.
Take that whipping and go home, UAPB. Take it and go home. Why would Jackson State need to cheat to beat you?
Oh,
that's the first question I would ask.
Yeah.
And I know people crazy and do stupid things. We know people do stupid things.
Yeah.
There's no denying it. And they do it. So maybe he had access to a huddle. You mean that's some kind of video or something?
Yeah, I was watching a video on TV because, as a coach, when you have matchups, coaches share information. Sometimes coaches give you only what they want you to see, but they don't give you the full access to everything. Huddle basically gives you the full access, especially if that access was given to you from a former player who still has that access from his previous team.
Yeah, that's good. He gave it to him. Y'all need that to beat UAPB. Yeah, cheap. Yeah, I bet.
That is hilarious, Coach.
It is hilarious. And I would be embarrassed if I was UAPB to go forward with this.
Yeah.
I would be embarrassed. Jackson doesn't need to cheat to beat you.
The fact that you making that statement is hilarious.
Well, maybe Valley would need to cheat to beat him.
Yeah.
And I don't know who else. UAPB. There are people who want people to feel sorry for them. If you want people to feel sorry for you, don't play sport.
Yeah.
Sport is not about forgiveness. People don't feel sorry for you if they beat you.
Yeah.
It's not forgiving. It's an unforgiving sport, activity, sports. So I don't understand. I would say they don't need to cheat to beat you. They got you beat when they showed up. I know at UAPB, that coach is looking for somebody to feel sorry for him.
That's what it is.
It ain't going to happen, you know.
Well, on that note, let's get ready to take another break, y'all. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back. More Chopping Up with Coach Roger Cador and Perry White.
Smart Baton Rouge business travelers travel out of Baton Rouge because BTR is so close and convenient, they're always one step ahead, rather than dead on their feet. So, isn't it about time you flew BTR? Baton Rouge Metro Airport. Some Baton Rouge business travelers travel out of Baton Rouge. Some don't. The ones that do know BTR is all about being closer, more convenient, with non-stops and short hops to anywhere their business takes them. They also know not flying BTR means more traffic, longer lines, and wasted time. So if it's about going from driveway to runway with a lot less highway, isn't it about time you flew BTR? Baton Rouge Metro Airport. It's about time.
Getting a letter from the IRS that you owe back taxes can be scary, but it doesn't have to be. Call Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040 today. We'll help stop garnishments, levies, and seizures immediately. With over 35 years of dealing directly with the IRS, our team of local professionals will help you pay the least amount possible. So if you owe back taxes to the IRS, you need help. Call the tax professionals at Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040. Your go-to tax relief.
Have a passion? We've got the place. Gear up for where the rubber meets the mud, or stir up memories of a lifetime. Reach new heights, gravitate towards something out of this world, even travel back in time. You might like a little drama in your life, or get in touch with your inner nature lover. Release some pent-up energy while you're at it. There's plenty to do beyond the swing sets. BRAC, we're more than a playground.
With over 60 years of combined experience, Kathy Sherburne and Anna Barnett bring a wealth of knowledge and excitement to the framing industry. Keeping strong to the Louisiana culture, Acadian Frame and Art has numerous local artists and sports team memorabilia for their customers to choose from. Whether you're creating a gallery-like setting in your office or simply looking for some fun art for your kids' playroom, Acadian Frame and Art is your one-stop picture framing spot. Call 225-927-6129 or go to www.acadianframe.com.
Get the memoir from the legendary baseball coach from Southern University, Roger Cador, Against All Odds. Roger refused to let his past dictate his future by rising to legendary college baseball status. An inspiring story of tenacity, faith, and hope. Against All Odds chronicles Coach Cador's determination to reach higher, to want more, and to dig deeper to find the courage to chase his dreams. Against All Odds. Get yours today by Cador & Cador Publishing. You are now watching Chopping It Up with Roger Cador and Perry White.
All right, we're back for more Chopping Up with Coach Roger Cador and Perry White. I'm Perry White. He's Roger Cador. And for those of you out there watching, working on the value, we're going to get it turned up a little bit. May have been a little low. So as we get back into the show, Coach, you know, as we get ready, we're in November now. Today is Tuesday, so lots of people across the country, if they have not early voted, they'll be getting out voting today. And your thoughts about that civic duty to get out and vote, and not necessarily just for the president, but your local and state government and as well.
I have no interest in politics, and we will not discuss it. We're going to stay free of politics.
That's funny, G. Well, would you tell the people to go out and vote?
I'm not going to tell them not to and to go out. I'm just neutral. Yeah. Neutrality all the way on it.
Okay.
I don't want to tell people what to do.
Yeah.
I had to all my life tell so many people what to do. You know.
This one you just rather stay away from.
Yeah, because there's a winner and a loser, remember. Mm-hmm. And you're going to make somebody angry and going to make somebody happy.
Yeah.
You know, let's just stay away from it. But I want to get back to that huddle.
What you want to talk about?
I want to reframe myself. I would think someone from Jackson would be immature enough and not understand that you can't do that because they have, with technology the way it is, they'll know if you're doing this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And somebody immature enough, and remember, this is the world we live in. Cheat to win. Beat them in when you didn't need to cheat, but cheat anyway. You got me?
Yeah.
Didn't need to cheat to beat that team. There's no need. They got 2 players. Why would you need to even know? Just show up and play. And so if they did that, they need to come hard on them. You know. But again, it goes to show you can't trust anybody. Why would a former player give access to the enemy?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't trust anyone.
Yeah.
You know, so.
As good as you were as a coach, did you ever get anybody who remotely tried to, around the conference, who may have hated it or didn't like your success, try to say Southern cheating?
Only one coach told me that.
What did he try to say about you, Coach?
He said the umpire was cheating. That's what he said.
That he was for Southern.
Yeah, he was an Alcorn guy. And the old guy said, Cador, you cheating. As if I'm making the call.
Yeah.
You know, Cador, you cheating. Really?
You handpicked those umpires yourself?
No. I'm in the third base box, coaching box, but I was cheating. But no, that's something, the history, the tradition of Southern taught us we play the game right and we don't cheat. And I certainly passed it along to my players. We don't cheat, we play right. You work hard, did everything right. And that's the way we did it. And it all worked. It's a good formula to have, and we did it that way.
You know, being a Southern person, every time I go somewhere, regardless of the sport, people always say Southern cheating something. And I'm like, well, I think everybody be cheating against us. So regardless of the fact, I guess every fan base at some point thinks cheating involved. And then especially now that I'm an official, I had a big game this past weekend. I had Central and Zachary. It was a top 10 matchup.
Get the memoir from the legendary baseball coach.
Coach walk up to me, and we were doing a lot more things in that game than we normally do as an official because it was torrential downpour.
Okay.
So they wanted to rotate the ball in every play. So it was a lot more going on in terms of our duties that sometimes there were things that we missed. And so I guess there was a point, one of the early opening plays where a Central player was alleged taunting the coach. And so I missed it because I got a ball guy behind me fussing at me about wanting to get a fresh ball into the game. And so the coach walks up to me and he's yelling and he's like, you know, this guy can tell me. I said, hey, coach, we're doing a lot more tonight than we normally do. If I missed it, I can assure you I won't do it again. I'm trying to keep my eyes on everything. And like I told him when it comes to, you know, everybody think it's cheating, I said, coach, my job, I don't have no dog in this fight. My job is to call it fair and square. If I see it, I promise you I'm going to call it. I'm not here to pick sides. I'm here to do what's right. And I said that I ain't had no more problems with him for the rest of the night. And this coach is normally known for giving officials a hard time.
Well, for him to even talk about a player taunting him, adult worry about an adolescent taunting him.
They want every call.
That tells me a lot about that guy. You know, I wouldn't worry, you know, what the hell about what some 17-year-old boy, 16-year-old boy says to me. You know, in the heat of the battle, you got me?
Yeah.
Long as he doesn't call me a name and use that magical word, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be okay. But this guy talking about somebody taunting him.
There's more things to be worried about than that.
A whole lot of things other than that.
And Zachary actually lost the game, so.
That is.
Yeah, 4 missed field goals in that game.
That is.
Yeah.
Did that guy taunt him then?
That is hilarious, man.
It's hilarious.
Man, we getting ready to come down into it, man. It's a possible tropical storm headed this way. So for everybody, you know, no need to cause chaos, but I would say as the week comes to an end, start paying attention to your weather, pay attention to the news. And I want to go to the high school level with you real quick, because as we're talking about that, U High, which is basically the lab school to LSU, it has come out that they have to forfeit 9 games this year for playing ineligible players. And, they're trying to appeal it to the LHSAA, but, that makes it tough with 1 game left in the season, and it's against a rival in Catholic, and they need that 1 win to get into the playoffs, and if they don't get into the playoffs. But your thoughts when you look at that type of action being taken on schools with ineligible players? Allegedly.
Well, it let you go. No, things could happen. I don't think that they came outright trying to cheat. Sometimes kids transfer. Could be a kid transfer out of the area, probably. That's what it was. I know it probably wasn't academic, right?
Well, I never did get the full story. It was just saying that, that the idea was that there were players that were ineligible and they played them and they had to forfeit the 9 wins on the season.
It could have happened early in the year where kids can transfer out of district. I guess that's what you call it.
Yeah, from school to another school.
Yeah,
and
it happened.
You get that when you get private schools typically, because they kind of consider it like recruiting.
Right. Or, parents could have moved. I mean, it just, parents get divorced, split up. Things happen. And kids don't always tell administrators everything. You got me? So I don't think that there's a case where they try to cheat. Listen.
They switched on Liberty High. They came from Liberty.
Liberty, okay.
Liberty. They say Liberty snitched on them.
Well, there you go.
There it is.
So it's trying to, I guess they're saying they recruited those kids over, and because of that, there's a violation in that.
Okay. Well, the LAS, whatever you call it.
LHSAA.
They took care of it.
Yeah.
We have bigger things to be concerned with.
Like this weather possibly coming up this weekend. And, before we get ready to get out of here, Coach, looking at your outlook, I always ask you what you got going on for the week coming up.
No, basic. We know we're going to have game days coming. Saturday to Baton Rouge.
LSU, Alabama.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping the weather does not, because that storm is supposed to be Friday, Saturday-ish with rain and, I'm hoping it don't put much of a damper on it.
Well, it's a football game. It's not going to put it's only 30% allegedly.
You want to go to college game day?
Not really.
We can go out there. I go. Look, I compete. We can go to college game day, Coach. We can go see Reese Davis and the boys.
I'm not going to get caught up in that.
Gee, I'm trying to get him out with me.
If anything, I would go eat some of the food. Man, I've eaten some food over the years where people come from South Louisiana, fix some special dishes, really good food. So that would be a consideration, okay?
And I think for you, they would actually acknowledge you, Hall of Fame baseball coach. Oh, we got Roger Cador in the house and put you right there on the screen. Legendary coach.
That's not what I want. That's not. I've had my day in the sun. My days in the sun, I've had them. I don't need any more publicity. I just want to just operate under the radar.
Talking to LSU, Alabama before we go, what you think about that game? Alabama coming in, LSU lost their last game against Texas A&M on the road. So you get a chance to have these two teams who do not like each other. And they call it Bama Hate Week here in Baton Rouge on that side of town. Your thoughts on these two programs?
LSU better watch it. They could be in trouble.
Yeah.
Bama is good. It's still pretty good. They don't have Nick Saban, but they're still pretty good. They got a better quarterback than LSU.
Yeah.
And that always matters. So it'll be interesting. LSU may be looking to have a 5-loss season. I mean, it could be, it's tough out there right now.
It is tough out there. Well, everybody, hope you guys enjoyed today's show. We're going to get ready to get out of here. We'll be back next week, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Go to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, and then everybody watching on our Facebook page, on Coach Roger Cador's Facebook page, hit that like button, follow, keep up with him, and you're able to keep up with both of us when we go live as we try to share this and put this out there. So hope you guys enjoyed this show. We'll be back next week. Coach, get us out of here. Catch you later.
Bye.
Get the memoir from the legendary baseball coach from Southern University, Roger Cador, Against All Odds. Roger refused to let his past dictate his future by rising to legendary college baseball status. An inspiring story of tenacity, faith, and hope. Against